Welcome to this pre-study video presentation prior to the NODEFIC United Nations Logistics course. This presentation is one of 5 short presentations that are all mandatory before applying to the online digital training. Those of you who have completed the online digital training may apply to the 1-week advanced United Nations Logistics course at NODEFIC in Oslo, Norway. Please find more information at our webpage, nodefic.no. After this introduction, you should be able to recall the United Nations document reference system and how to find United Nations resolutions and documents. The United Nations has no official structure on its documents, but we can categorize them as depicted on this slide. United Nations resolutions and General Assembly documents are issued by the member states in the General Assembly or any of the Assembly's councils or committees. United Nations reports are the Secretary General's documents that the Secretariat has prepared for the member states in the General Assembly or any of the Assembly's councils or committees. United Nations policies, standing operation procedures, guidelines, and manuals are normally issued by the Secretariat for use either inside the Secretariat or in the United Nations political and military missions. Each mission may make their own mission-specific standing operation procedures or guidelines. Only resolutions and documents issued by the member states in the General Assembly or any of the Assembly's councils or committees and the Secretary General's reports to the member states are included in the United Nations official document reference system. Since United Nations has 6 official languages, English, French, Arabic, Chinese, Russian, and Spanish, will all documents included in the United Nations official document reference system be issued in all these 6 languages. Inside the red box, you will see how the reference system on General Assembly documents will look like. The letter A describes that this is a document from the General Assembly. RES describes that this is a resolution document. C.5 describes that this document belongs to the 5th committee inside the General Assembly. The number 72 refers to the UN year. Year 1 was 1946 and year 72 is 2018. The last number, 285, 286 or 287, refers to the document's number issued that specific year. The Security Council uses a similar system. They use the letter S for the Security Council instead of A. The number 1325 describes that this is the resolution number 1325 since the year 1946. To make it easier to find or separate these resolutions, the reference system lists the year the resolution was issued in brackets. It is easy to find the Security Council's resolutions. The Council has their own webpage. All United Nations web pages that contains official documents is also possible to find through Google if you do not know the correct web address. The General Assembly documents are also easy to find. The web page gives you many search options for finding your document. You can also decide in which of the 6 United Nations languages you want the document shown. Since all other documents from the Secretariat are not included in the official document reference system, it may be a challenge to find what you are looking for. We will recommend you to either contact your permanent mission in New York or search at United Nations Dag Hammarskjöld Digital Library. The library are, as the 2 other document web pages, easy to use. You may also register yourself in the library, and the library then will email you every time a new document in your requested category is issued. We can't explain or list all documents that will be important for a logistic officer in a logistic preparation for, or deploying to, or during the sustainment phase in a United Nations mission. We have therefore only listed the most important ones, those documents you must have access to. Status of Forces Agreement is an agreement between the United Nations and the host countries stationing military forces in that country. It establishes the rights and privileges for foreign personnel, equipment and services present in a host country in support of the United Nations mission in that specific country. Statement of Forces Requirement contains the United Nations mission's backgrounds and the mandate, concept of operations, the force capabilities, capacities, composition, and other demands. This document is for the entire military force as a whole and gives no details to military subunits. Note verbal, a United Nations diplomatic note that is more formal than an aid memoir and less formal than a note, is drafted in the third person and it's never signed. Note verbal is often used as a United Nations Secretariat's confirmation letter to a member state participating in a United Nations mission. Authority and command and control in United Nations peacekeeping operations defines and describes the authority, command and control structure from the United Nations headquarters in New York and down to the tactical unit in the mission. The policy also specifies the responsibilities retained by the member states over their military or police contingent and units serving in the United Nations peacekeeping missions. UN policies on recce visit describes the rules for the United Nations organized troop police contribution recce visit to the United Nations missions area prior to deployment. UN policy on pre-deployment visit describes the rules for United Nations pre-deployment visit to a troop contributing country with the purpose of inspecting and guiding the troop contributors' equipment and troops, included training, prior to deployment. Sadly, the United Nations has no official abbreviation list. We have in this presentation introduced you to the United Nations documents. Key takeaway: only United Nations documents issued by the General Assembly and the Secretary General has the official United Nations references. No official structure on the United Nations document hierarchy. Thank you for following this presentation.